The message came on a Tuesday. Scientists at the SETI facility in New Mexico stared in shock as the alien transmission decoded before their eyes. After decades of searching the stars, humanity was no longer alone. Within hours, the president announced the news to a stunned world. Within days, the United Nations formed Earth's first contact team. Dr. Ethan Miller, a quiet man with kind eyes who had spent 30 years studying possible alien communication patterns, was chosen to lead the scientific delegation. The military selected Major Lisa Hernandez, a decorated officer known for her calm under pressure, to handle security concerns. "This is why I became a scientist," Dr. Miller told his wife the night before departing. "To be there when we finally meet our cosmic neighbors." The aliens called themselves the Galactic Council. They requested a meeting in space and helped Earth build a simple station in orbit for this purpose. The world watched in awe as the alien ship, sleek and silver like a massive teardrop, docked with the station 3 months later. Major Hernandez felt uneasy as she watched the alien delegates board. "Something doesn't feel right," she whispered to Dr. Miller. "Their body language is too stiff." The aliens were tall, blue-skinned beings called the Xanthari. Their leader, Ambassador Krell, had 4 arms and eyes that changed color with his mood. Right now, they glowed a deep orange. "We welcome Earth to the greater galactic community," Krell said through a translation device. His voice sounded flat and mechanical. "We have watched your development for many years." Dr. Miller stepped forward with a smile. "We are honored to meet you and learn about the Council. We bring greetings from all nations of Earth." Krell's eyes shifted to red. "Your planet is considered primitive by Council standards. Your technology is basic. Your social systems are chaotic, but your resources are valuable." The smile faded from Dr. Miller's face. "We hope to learn and grow with the Council's guidance, but Earth is a sovereign world." "Sovereignty is earned," Krell replied. "The Council has voted. Earth will become a protectorate. We will establish bases on your world to extract needed resources. In exchange, we will provide limited technological assistance." Major Hernandez moved closer to Dr. Miller. "That sounds like colonization, not cooperation," she said. Dr. Miller nodded. "Ambassador Krell, we came here to establish friendly relations between equals. What you're suggesting would never be accepted by Earth's governments." Krell's eyes flashed a bright, angry red. "Acceptance is not required." With frightening speed, the alien pulled out a small device. Before anyone could react, he fired it at Dr. Miller. A beam of green light hit the scientist in the chest. Dr. Miller looked down in surprise at the smoking hole where his heart had been, then collapsed. Chaos erupted. The other Xanthari delegates pulled out similar weapons. 3 more humans fell. Major Hernandez drew her sidearm and fired, hitting 1 alien before dragging 2 surviving scientists toward the Earth shuttle. "Lock the doors," she shouted to the pilot as they tumbled inside. Laser fire hit the shuttle's hull as they disconnected from the station and fell toward Earth. Major Hernandez looked at the terrified faces around her, then at the video recording device on her uniform that had captured everything. "They never came in peace," she said quietly. "They came to take our world." 2 days later, massive alien ships appeared in Earth's skies. The Galactic Council's message was broadcast on all frequencies. Earth was now under their protection and control. Any resistance would be met with force. Major Hernandez stood in the UN emergency session, her arm in a sling, as the world leaders watched the recording of Dr. Miller's murder. "They think we're weak," she told them. "Someday, they'll learn how wrong they are." Outside, the alien ships hovered over major cities, their shadows darkening the land below. Humanity's darkest hour had begun. 5 years passed under alien rule. The world changed in ways no one could have imagined before the Xanthari came. Major cities now had alien towers rising above the skylines. Strange ships flew overhead daily. Human-made governments still existed, but they answered to council officials who demanded more resources each month. John Reeves watched the alien patrol from his hiding spot in the mountains. Once a Navy SEAL, he now led the largest resistance cell in North America. His beard was long and his eyes were hard, but his mind remained sharp. He counted 6 Zinthuri soldiers moving along the path below. "Too many," he whispered to the woman beside him. Dr. Amy Rodriguez nodded. Before the invasion, she had been a quantum physicist at MIT. Now she used her brilliant mind to fight back. She was thin from years of rationed food, but her determination had only grown stronger. "We need those parts," she said quietly. "The lab can't wait another week." Their hidden base was 20 miles north, deep in the Rocky Mountains. 50 resistance fighters lived there, working on Amy's experiments. For months, she had studied captured alien technology, looking for weaknesses. The patrol below carried components she desperately needed. John frowned. "We'll split up. I'll take Ben and Kyle around the east side. You take Mia and create a distraction to the west. Small one, Amy. Just enough to pull 2 guards away." They moved silently through the pine trees. The mountain air was cold and clear. John's team got into position, hiding behind large boulders above the trail. Amy and Mia moved farther down the path. The plan worked at first. A small explosion drew 2 guards away. John's team quickly overwhelmed the remaining 4 aliens. They collected weapons, communication devices, and the precious tech components Amy needed. Then everything went wrong. A second alien patrol appeared from nowhere. Laser fire cut through the trees. Kyle fell first, his chest smoking. John grabbed Amy's arm and pulled her behind a fallen log as shots hit all around them. "Run," John shouted. "Get back to base." Amy clutched the alien parts to her chest and ran with Mia through the forest. Behind them, John and Ben fired their stolen alien weapons, buying them time. The sound of fighting faded as the women raced toward the hidden entrance to their underground base. 3 hours later, John stumbled into the base. His face was bloody, and he was alone. "Ben?" Amy asked, already knowing the answer. "Didn't make it," John said, his voice rough with grief. "Neither did the second patrol. We have maybe 2 days before they send more to look for their missing soldiers." The resistance fighters moved quickly, packing only essential equipment. Amy worked through the night in their makeshift lab, refusing to leave until she finished examining one particular alien device. Near dawn, she burst into John's room, her eyes wide with excitement. "I found it," she said. "The weakness in their shield technology. Their personal shields and their ship shields use the same frequency patterns. If we can disrupt one, we can disrupt them all." John sat up. "Can you build something that would work against their shields?" "With these new components, yes. It will take time, but I can do it." Her eyes shone with the first real hope any of them had felt in years. As the resistance team loaded their trucks to move to a new location, a large screen in the Geneva World Administration building showed the puppet human president announcing increased resource quotas for the Galactic Council. "Earth continues its beneficial partnership with the Council," he said with an empty smile. "Cooperation ensures peace." In the back of a resistance truck bouncing down a mountain road, Amy Rodriguez looked at the alien technology spread before her and whispered, "Peace was never what they offered, but they'll learn what Earth can do when pushed too far." Above them, Council ships patrolled the skies, unaware that their greatest threat wasn't from the stars, but from the determined humans working in shadows below. 3 years had passed since Dr. Amy Rodriguez discovered the weakness in alien shield technology. The resistance now operated from an abandoned coal mine in West Virginia. Deep underground, safe from alien scanners, humans worked day and night to build weapons that could fight back. Amy stood in the main lab, her hair now streaked with gray, despite being only 38. She held a small device in her hand, about the size of an old smartphone. It looked simple, but inside was the most complex technology humans had ever created. "It works," she said to John Reeves. "The quantum disruptor is ready for full testing." John nodded. The years of fighting had left scars across his face, but his eyes still burned with determination. How many can we make? With the materials we have. Maybe 20. We'll need more alien tech to build more. Cameron Wright entered the lab. The former NASA engineer had joined the Resistance 2 years ago after escaping a council work camp. He was tall and thin, with clever hands that could build almost anything. "The ship is ready too," he said. His voice was quiet but proud. "I installed the disruptor mounting points exactly as you specified, Amy." The three walked through a large tunnel to another chamber where their greatest achievement waited. A spacecraft unlike anything Earth had built before. It combined stolen alien technology with human ingenuity. It wasn't large, only room for 4 people, but it had something no other human craft had ever possessed: the ability to leave Earth undetected. "I call her Defiance," Cameron said. "She's not pretty, but she'll fly." Amy touched the ship's rough metal surface. "And with the quantum disruptor, she'll have teeth." John turned as Grace Daniels walked in. Once a stunt pilot, now their best ship operator, Grace had short blonde hair and a confidence that inspired others. "Is she ready for me to fly?" Grace asked, walking around the ship with an expert eye. "Tomorrow," John said. "We hit the moon base at 200. Small facility, minimal guards. Perfect test for both the ship and the disruptor." That night, no one slept well. They had been planning this moment for years. If it worked, everything would change. If it failed, they would lose their best people and their only ship. At exactly 2:00 a.m., Defiance lifted off from a hidden exit in the mountains. Grace piloted with Cameron as her co-pilot. 2 Resistance fighters named Ellen and Paul handled weapons. The ship rose silently into the night sky, its stolen stealth technology hiding it from alien sensors. 3 hours later, Amy and John stood in the communications room, waiting for news. The radio crackled. "Base, this is Defiance." Grace's voice came through, tight with excitement. "Mission complete. The disruptor worked perfectly. Shields went down with 1 hit. Facility destroyed. No casualties on our side." Cheers erupted throughout the base. Amy collapsed into a chair, tears streaming down her face. 3 years of work had paid off. John squeezed her shoulder, a rare smile breaking through his serious expression. "They'll think it was another alien faction," he said. "The Council has enemies. They won't suspect humans could do this." He was right. On the Council's main Earth base, Security Chief Drex received reports of the moon facility's destruction with fury but not surprise. The blue-skinned Zinthuri commander suspected rival aliens, particularly the Vestari who had opposed Earth's colonization. "Increase security at all facilities," he ordered, "and check inventory. Make sure nothing important is missing." What he didn't know was that across the planet, resistance cells were already stealing more components, following John's orders. Small pieces that wouldn't be noticed immediately. Parts that Amy needed to build more disruptors. As Defiance returned safely to Earth, news spread through secret resistance channels. For the first time since the invasion, humans had struck back effectively. The spark of hope grew stronger. In her lab, Amy already worked on improvements to the disruptor design. "Next time," she whispered, "we hit something bigger." 2 years after the successful moon mission, the resistance had grown stronger than anyone thought possible. Hidden bases operated on 6 continents. The largest was beneath the ruins of Detroit, in old car manufacturing tunnels that had been abandoned long before the invasion. Admiral Frank Ortiz stood in the main chamber, looking at a giant map of Earth. Small lights showed resistance bases and council facilities. Once he had commanded a nuclear submarine for the United States Navy. Now he commanded Earth's secret defense force. 20 ships, he said to John Reeves. Not a lot against the council fleet, but each one carries Dr. Rodriguez's disruptors. John nodded. Quality over quantity. One of our ships can take out 3 of theirs if we surprise them. The ships were built in underground facilities around the world. They weren't beautiful, but they were deadly. Each one could carry 6 people and travel beyond Earth's atmosphere. They had names like Freedom, Justice, and Hope. The largest ship was still under construction. It would be called Vengeance. Unlike the others, it was designed to travel between stars. If the plan worked, it would take the fight directly to the Council. Cameron Wright supervised 50 engineers working on Vengeance's engines. 2 more weeks, he told Admiral Ortiz during an inspection. Then we can test the jump drive. The Resistance had created a miracle from stolen technology and human determination. But their enemy was growing suspicious. On the Council's main Earth base in what used to be Chicago, Security Chief Drex stared at inventory reports. His red eyes narrowed as he noticed patterns, small components missing from multiple facilities. Nothing major, but when combined. "They are building something," he hissed to his assistant. "These humans are more clever than we thought." He ordered increased patrols and stricter security measures. Council soldiers raided human settlements more frequently. People disappeared for questioning. The pressure on Earth increased. The Resistance felt this pressure. Their Australian shipyard, hidden in an old mining complex, was discovered and destroyed by Council forces. 30 Resistance fighters died, and 2 nearly complete ships were lost. Admiral Ortiz called an emergency meeting with all cell leaders via secure communication. "They're getting closer," he said gravely. "We need to accelerate our timeline. The longer we wait, the more likely they find our main bases." Amy Rodriguez spoke up from her lab in West Virginia. "Vengeance will be ready for a test flight in 10 days. The other ships can be deployed immediately." Grace Daniels, now the Resistance's best pilot trainer, nodded in agreement. "My pilots are ready, Admiral. Just give the order." Admiral Ortiz looked at the tired but determined faces on his screen. For 8 years, they had endured occupation. They had built a fleet in secret while their world was stripped of resources. The waiting had to end. "We strike in 2 weeks," he announced. "A coordinated attack on all Council bases on Earth. No warnings, no mercy." John Reeves nodded grimly. "After that, they'll send everything they have against us." "Let them come," Admiral Ortiz replied. "By then, we'll control Earth's orbit. We'll fight them in space, not on our soil." The next 10 days were a blur of activity. Ships were moved to launch positions. Weapons were distributed. Final preparations were made. Vengeance successfully completed its maiden voyage, traveling to Mars and back in just under 14 hours. It was a fraction of what the Council ships could do, but it was enough. Humanity could now reach beyond its own world. As the attack date approached, Admiral Ortiz sent a final message to all Resistance fighters. "Tomorrow, we take back our planet. Some of us won't live to see the sun set, but our children will grow up on a free Earth. Remember why we fight. Remember those we've lost. Tomorrow, the Council learns that humans don't surrender. We fight back." Across the world, Resistance fighters prepared their weapons and said quiet goodbyes to loved ones. The time for hiding was over. The attack began at dawn across the globe. 20 human ships rose from hidden bases, each targeting a Council facility. The largest Council fortress stood where Beijing once existed, a towering structure of alien metal and strange lights. Captain Olivia Phillips led the assault on this primary target. Her ship, Liberty, carried the best weapons and strongest shields the Resistance had created. She had short red hair and a thin scar across her cheek from an early Resistance mission. Her crew of 5 were the most experienced fighters on Earth. "Weapons hot," she ordered as Liberty broke through the clouds. "Target their command center first." Below them, alien alarms began to sound. Council forces rushed to defense positions, powering up their shield systems. They had faced human ground attacks before, small, desperate strikes that were easily crushed. They had never faced anything like this. Liberty fired its main weapon. The quantum disruptor beam hit the fortress shields and did exactly what Dr. Rodriguez had promised. It passed right through them. The command center exploded in a flash of blue fire. "All ships, report," Admiral Ortiz called from his command post beneath Detroit. One by one, the ships responded with success. Council bases in London, Cairo, Sydney, and Rio fell within the first hour. Council ships tried to respond but were caught on the ground, their crews unprepared for an attack of this scale. From the moon, Admiral Ortiz led a second fleet against the lunar mining operations. Here the fighting was harder. Council forces had more ships ready, and the battle raged across the lunar surface. As Liberty destroyed the last defense tower in Beijing, Captain Phillips received an urgent message from Dr. Rodriguez. "The Council soldiers are sending automated distress signals," Amy explained, her voice tense. "Each time one dies, a signal goes directly to the Galactic Council. They know what's happening now." Captain Phillips understood what this meant. "How long until they respond?" 6 months at most," Amy replied. "Their nearest major fleet is 3 systems away." The battle for Earth continued for 3 days. The resistance fighters freed human labor camps and destroyed Council technology. Some alien soldiers surrendered, but most fought to the death. In the old United Nations building in Geneva, the puppet human government tried to call for peace. They were arrested by resistance forces, exposed as traitors who had helped the Council for their own benefit. The final Council stronghold was their regional headquarters in Sydney. Admiral Ortiz directed 3 ships to surround it. The aliens inside made their last stand, led by General Vrax, the Council's military commander for Earth. "You have lost," Captain Phillips told him over an open communication channel. "Surrender, and you will be treated fairly." General Vrax, a tall Xanthari with battle scars covering his blue skin, laughed. "You believe you have won. You have merely awakened a giant. The Council will send a force that will turn your planet to ash." While the humans were distracted with negotiations, Vrax and a small group of officers escaped in a hidden ship. They jumped to hyperspace before the resistance could stop them. "Let them go," Admiral Ortiz said when he heard the news. "They can tell the Council what humans are capable of." 8 years after the invasion began, Earth was free again. People emerged from hiding, celebrating in streets that had been under alien control for nearly a decade. The resistance fighters were hailed as heroes, but the celebrations were mixed with fear. Everyone knew the Council would respond, and their revenge would be terrible. In a quiet moment after the victory, Admiral Ortiz stood with John Reeves, looking at the stars from the roof of their Detroit base. "We have maybe 6 months before they come back," John said. Admiral Ortiz nodded. "Then we have 6 months to prepare. Earth won't fall again." Across the planet, humans began rebuilding, knowing that their greatest battle was still to come. The 6-month countdown began. Earth had a small window to prepare before the Council returned with a vengeance. The resistance transformed into an official government called the Earth Defense Alliance. Their first act was to appoint Admiral Ortiz as Supreme Commander of all EDA forces. Dr. Amy Rodriguez worked day and night to improve Earth's defenses. Her laboratory expanded to fill an entire underground complex. Hundreds of scientists who had been forced to work for the Council now joined her team willingly. "We need stronger shields," she told Admiral Ortiz during a strategy meeting. "Our disruptors work against their shields, but they'll adapt. They always do." Admiral Ortiz nodded. "What about our fleet?" "We can build 30 more ships in 6 months if we use all available resources," Cameron Wright said. "Quality will suffer if we rush. But numbers matter now." John Reeves, now General Reeves, handled ground defense preparation. "Every major city needs anti-orbital cannons. We can't let them establish ground bases again." Captain Olivia Phillips had perhaps the most dangerous job. She led missions throughout the solar system, establishing early warning outposts and defensive positions on Mars, Venus, and key asteroids. Her ship Liberty came under attack 3 times from remaining Council forces hiding in the outer planets. During one fierce battle near Jupiter, Liberty was nearly destroyed. Captain Phillips limped back to Earth with a damaged engine and 2 dead crew members. "They're desperate," she reported to Admiral Ortiz, her arm in a sling. "But they're also gathering. The remaining Council forces are meeting at Neptune, waiting for reinforcements." The greatest breakthrough came 4 months into their preparations. Using captured alien communication technology, Dr. Rodriguez's team managed to intercept Council transmissions. What they heard chilled them to the bone. 200 warships, Amy told the EDA Leadership Council. "They're sending 200 warships with orders to eradicate all human resistance." The room fell silent. Earth had only 45 ships, even with their accelerated building program. "Can we evacuate?" someone asked. Admiral Ortiz shook his head. "To where? We have one ship capable of interstellar travel. We can't save 8 billion people." For the first time since liberation, despair threatened to overwhelm them. Then Dr. Rodriguez stepped forward. "I have an idea," she said quietly. "It's dangerous, probably impossible. But if it works, we take the fight to them instead of waiting for destruction." She explained her plan. Using data from the captured Council ships, she believed they could send a small strike team directly to the Galactic Council headquarters. Not to attack, she clarified when she saw their shocked faces. To expose the truth. The Council races don't all think alike. Many don't even know what really happened here. Captain Phillips immediately volunteered to lead the mission. Liberty can be retrofitted with a jump drive from one of the captured Council ships. "My crew and I will go." General Reeves objected. "It's a suicide mission, Olivia." "Perhaps," she agreed. "But if we stay here and fight conventionally, we all die anyway." Admiral Ortiz studied the star charts showing the Council territories. After a long moment, he nodded. "Prepare Liberty for the mission. But the rest of us will still be ready to defend Earth. We fight on both fronts." As the 6-month mark approached, Earth was as ready as it could be. The planet bristled with defensive weapons. The small human fleet practiced battle maneuvers daily. Captain Phillips' ship was prepared for its secret mission to the heart of Council space. Then, 1 month earlier than expected, the long-range sensors detected movement. A massive Council fleet had entered the outer solar system. "They're here," Admiral Ortiz announced to the EDA leadership. "Battle stations, everyone. The future of our species begins now." Across Earth, civilians moved to underground shelters. Soldiers manned their posts. Ship crews prepared for launch. Humanity faced its greatest test with determination and courage born from years of hardship. The Council Armada appeared at the edge of the solar system, near the orbit of Pluto. 200 warships, each larger than anything humans had built. Their weapons could destroy entire cities. Their shields had been strengthened against human disruption technology. Admiral Ortiz deployed Earth's fleet in a defensive formation around Jupiter. The gas giant's gravity and moons provided strategic advantages the humans desperately needed. "We are outgunned and outnumbered," he told his ship captains. "But we know our system. We fight on our terms." Supreme War Leader Thax commanded the Council forces. A veteran of 12 planetary conquests, he had never lost a campaign. His massive flagship led the Armada toward Earth. "These humans have caused enough trouble," he told his officers. "We will make an example of them for all primitive species who might consider rebellion." The Council fleet approached Jupiter with confidence. Thax sent a message to all Earth frequencies. "Your resistance is futile," his deep voice boomed. "Surrender now, and some of your people may be spared. Continue fighting, and we will turn your world to ash." Earth's answer came in the form of hidden mines placed throughout the outer solar system. As the first wave of Council ships passed Neptune's orbit, hundreds of quantum disruption mines activated. 20 Council warships exploded before they could react. "Clever," Thax growled, "but not clever enough." The space battle that followed was unlike anything in human history. Earth's ships darted between Jupiter's moons, firing at Council vessels, then disappearing into the planet's radiation belts. Council ships, designed for open space combat, struggled to follow. On Earth, Dr. Rodriguez monitored the battle from the command center beneath Detroit. "The disruptors are working," she reported to General Reeves. "But they're adapting. Each hit does less damage." Captain Phillips led a squadron of 7 ships on a daring attack, run against the Council's supply vessels. "Form up on me," she ordered her pilots. "Target their fuel cells." Her squadron struck hard and fast. 5 Council ships erupted in flames before they could return fire, but the cost was high. 3 human ships were destroyed in the counterattack. As the battle raged across the Jupiter system, Admiral Ortiz implemented the next phase of the defense plan. Hidden missile platforms on several asteroids activated, launching thousands of small projectiles at the Council fleet. Each missile carried a miniature disruptor. Fax watched in fury as his fleet suffered unprecedented losses. "Find their command ship," he ordered. "I want Ortiz dead." Council sensors located Admiral Ortiz's flagship, Determination, hiding in Jupiter's shadow. 10 enemy warships moved to attack. "They found us," Admiral Ortiz's first officer reported. "Good," the Admiral replied calmly. "Spring the trap." As the Council ships approached, 5 human vessels that had been powered down suddenly activated. Captain Phillips led them in a surprise attack on Fax's flagship. "All ships target their command bridge," she ordered. "Full disruptor power." The concentrated fire overwhelmed the flagship's shields. Explosions rippled across its hull. On the bridge, Supreme War Leader Fax stared in disbelief as human weapons tore through his supposedly superior defenses. "Impossible," he whispered as his ship began to break apart around him. With their commander gone, the Council fleet fell into disarray. Some ships continued fighting, but others began to retreat. Admiral Ortiz saw his chance. "All vessels, press the advantage. Don't let them regroup." The battle continued for 3 more days. Human ships suffered heavy losses, but the Council forces suffered more. Finally, the remaining Council warships jumped away, fleeing the solar system. For the first time in known history, a Council invasion had failed. In the Detroit Command Center, exhausted personnel cheered as the last enemy ships disappeared from their sensors. Admiral Ortiz sank into his chair. "Casualties?" he asked quietly. 28 ships lost," his aide reported. "Thousands of crew members. But Earth stands." As the celebration continued around him, Admiral Ortiz opened a secure channel to Captain Phillips' ship. "Olivia, it's time for the second phase. They're wounded and confused. Take Liberty and go." Captain Phillips nodded. "We'll leave within the hour. The Council is about to get another surprise from Earth." Captain Olivia Phillips stood on the Bridge of Liberty as the ship prepared for its most dangerous mission. The journey to the Galactic Council headquarters would take 12 days using the modified jump drive. "Are you sure about this?" Dr. Rodriguez asked over the communication link. She had insisted on joining the mission, bringing proof of the Zinthari's original betrayal. "No," Olivia admitted, "but sometimes the right path isn't the safe one." Liberty's crew consisted of 6 people: Olivia, Amy, and 4 of Earth's best soldiers. They carried a simple message and irrefutable evidence. The ship vanished from the solar system in a flash of light. For 12 days, they jumped through space, following coordinates taken from captured Council databases. When they finally arrived, they faced a massive space station orbiting a blue-green gas giant. Hundreds of ships from different alien races surrounded it. "Stealth systems engage," Olivia ordered. "Take us in slowly." Using technology reverse-engineered from Council ships, Liberty approached the station undetected. They docked at an unused maintenance port, away from the main traffic areas. "Remember," Olivia told her team as they prepared to leave the ship, "we're not here to fight. We deliver the message and the proof. Then we leave." The small team moved through the station's service corridors, avoiding patrols. The Council headquarters housed representatives from over 50 alien species. Most knew little about Earth beyond official reports. They reached the main communication hub, where all Council sessions were broadcast throughout Council space. Amy quickly bypassed the security systems. "I have control," she whispered, "but it won't last long." Olivia nodded. "Do it." Amy activated the system. Suddenly, on every screen throughout the station, and on thousands of worlds across Council space, the video recording of the first contact appeared. The images were clear. Dr. Ethan Miller extending friendship, Ambassador Krell murdering him without provocation, the unprovoked attack on Earth's diplomatic team. "This is the truth," Olivia's voice accompanied the footage. "Earth offered peace. We were met with violence. We were invaded, our resources stolen, our people enslaved. We fought back to survive." The station erupted in chaos. Many council races had never seen this footage. They had been told Earth attacked first, that humans were dangerous savages who needed control. In the main council chamber, Ambassador Krell, now promoted to council minister, watched in horror as his crime was displayed for all to see. The 7 ruling members of the council turned to him in shock. "This is fake," he shouted. "Human propaganda." But the evidence was too clear. Other recordings followed, showing council forces attacking unarmed human settlements, forcing people into labor camps, destroying cultural sites. 3 powerful council races immediately called for an emergency session. The Alturians, known for their strict adherence to justice, demanded an investigation. The Valeri, peaceful traders who had opposed unnecessary conflicts, offered to mediate. Even the warlike Drenner questioned the honor of how Earth had been treated. Security forces rushed to find the source of the broadcast. Olivia and her team fought their way back to Liberty, barely escaping as the station locked down. "Did it work?" Amy asked as they jumped away from the station. "We'll soon find out," Olivia replied. 3 weeks later, a single council ship entered Earth's solar system under a flag of truce. It carried representatives from 5 major council races, none of them Xanthari. "We wish to speak with Earth's leaders," the message stated. "Grave injustices have been committed against your world. The council is divided, but many wish to make amends." In Detroit, Admiral Ortiz read the message aloud to Earth's leadership. For the first time in nearly a decade, genuine hope filled the room. "Invite them to land," he said. "It's time Earth took its rightful place among the stars." 1 month later, Dr. Amy Rodriguez stood before the reformed Galactic Council as Earth's first official ambassador. The Xanthari had been censured, their leadership removed. Earth had been granted full membership with equal rights. In her first address, Amy spoke simply. "Earth comes in peace. This time, we hope peace is what we find."